we live.
Millions of feet of film like this have been shot. Thundering hooves and blazing six-shooters. Today, all that is left of that exciting era are ghost towns such as this one. The empty buildings and dusty streets remain as grim reminders of those bygone days when western towns teemed with life and activity. A dangerous life it was, without a doubt. Exciting and adventurous. With sudden death, an all too common occurrence. The West was opened up by a comparatively small band of hardy pioneers. It took a great deal of courage to leave civilization and travel off into what was then wilderness. They not only had to battle nature, but the Indians as well, and the savage red man was no pushover. The gold rush of '49 in California brought thousands more. Boomtowns sprang up overnight, and the wild and woolly West blazed into being. The men of that day worked long and hard herding cattle, or mining for precious metal, and they played hard too. Swinging doors like this fronted an oasis that eased parched throats and relaxed weary bodies. Each frontier town, no matter how small or backward, boasted of at least one saloon. Inside, you could buy a big tin cup of rot gut for as little as a quarter. The red eye was generally souped up with pepper or Tabasco sauce. And believe it or not, occasionally rattlesnake heads, just to give it an additional bite. An argument was seldom solved by discussion. The winner was the faster draw, and the loser never lived to brood over his defeat. The man's gun was his only weapon in those early days. Many residents of Boot Hill were sent there after severe beatings like this. But a good fight was great entertainment for the fun-starved settlers. Every Western story. And, of course, there were the bad men out after the easy dollar even in those days. What banks there were soft touches. And a good haul could be made from the miners loaded with gold dust in the saloons. The Iron Horse made good pickings, as did the Wells Fargo strong boxes. Law officers were in the minority. Generally, a town boasted of only a single sheriff. More often than not, he had to rely upon the good citizens of the town to form a posse and chase the bandits down. And when they were found, justice was dealt out swiftly and without too many legal formalities. The hanging tree was as much a part of the community as the church. Experts now agree that the notches on the pistol grips of the best-known gunmen were far from real. In fact, their fabled gunfights were usually nothing more than saloon brawls. Billy the Kid, for instance, is generally credited with only one actual gunfight victim. The rest resulted from various bushwhackings or ambushes. Bat Masterson is given only 4 credited victims. The famous Wyatt Earp, only 5. It's hard to separate the truth from the fiction. How did men like the James boys and the Daltons really act?